So I have several requests from people asking me to go ahead and do a video tutorial for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. First of all, to show you how to download pictures, you can just open it and then open a new window and then download. So that'll be in my downloads. Okay. But this is how to blend layers in Photoshop to create the double exposure. So they're wanting to do something industrial and then with the gentleman here. So in step 1, we're going to have to separate the man from the background. So I'm going to go here in Photoshop, and unlike Illustrator, I don't have to set up a artboard. I can just drag and drop. So I just drop it. So if I use the magic wand, that happens. And if I use my quick selection tool, it's a little bit harder because it's black on black with his jacket and then the background. But I can do selected mask. I can minus to get this part around his ear that I don't want. And then output to layer mask. Click OK. And so I noticed there I forgot his collar. So I can actually go over here to my paintbrush. White reveals, black conceals. So if it's set to white, I can use my paintbrush and it's going to reveal that part. So just a little trick there for you. Okay, so once I have the background done, I'm going to do this and let's see. I'm going to duplicate the layer. But then on this one, I'm going to delete the layer mask so that it's just the guy there. So that allows for that. So it wants us to combine, step 4 says to combine the two images into one document. And then here's how. So they're placing stuff. What you can do though is, I'm going to go over here to my downloads. Building. Copy that onto there. There we go. And that's how that's going to look. So then it says to right click on the top image, select and then create a layer mask. What that's going to look like. I'm on building. Create clipping mask. Ta-da. That's how you blend those. And then for cropping, for the art that we're creating, we're only going to need the top part of the shoulders. So crop it down to size. Okay. And then let's see. Crop tool. Do that. Hit enter. And there you go. So then step 7 is to colorize the photo. Right now we have a lot of color in the photo, and that's not what they really want for the final look. So we need to convert. We don't want to convert it to black and white. We still want to have some color in there. So then a different method, choose a new foreground color. So this is the color code there. I'll make that bold for you guys. going to copy it. And then select new layer. Let's see. So I click color overlay. Blends normal right now. Hold on. That didn't work. New fill layer, solid color. Color. Let's see if I can get my color there. So that'll bring up the colors for me. Do that. And there we go. So that'll create the new fill color. See? I don't need a layer mask, I just need my color there. So again, how I did that was the file or layer, new fill layer, solid color. And then clicking OK, it brings up the color. I can paste my color right in there and that'll do it. Yeah. So then it says to create a new layer underneath our two layers and fill with a foreground color. And then we have the background color rather than transparent. So what that means, I'm going to drag that down there. So now there's the background color. And then I'm going to copy that. Right click, duplicate layer. I'm going to put it up here. And then instead of normal, I'll drop down the color. So then that creates that color that they're wanting. So then blending the mask in the layers. This is where we get into the good stuff. So choose the industrial image, change the blending mode to lighten. It says extra for nerds. This simulates two projector points at the same screen. So that's kind of cool. So you start to see this cool blending effect. So that means on, let's see, clicking on the building instead of normal, we're going to click it to, what was it? Lighten. So I did that. If the top layer is a clipping group, we can drag it around, reposition it so it'll stay in boundaries with the face cut out. Dragged it so that the smokestack are showing on the left. Notice silhouette of the head is still showing on the right. So let's fix that. That means I can move. Hold on. This around so that the smokestacks are showing. There we go. So then we can choose, it's for you guys, it's going to be control because we don't have a command. We're not on max. Control L for levels. Slide the white slide over to make the shadow disappear. So what that looks like is doing Control L. Let's see what layer it wants us to be on. There we go. That up. So you can see here, helps get rid of that face tone. That's what it's trying to get you to do. Get rid of some of the face. Make the overlapping area invisible. Let's see. That'll work. And then we're going to do match layers. We can bring back part of the bottom of the face and smoothly blend it to sharp shape up on the top. With layer 1 still the active layer, click and add a layer mask button on the bottom of the layers panel. So it's saying we're going to add here, add a layer, mask there. Choose the soft edge of a black brush and then paint the image to mask out layer 1 and reveal the bottom of the face. So what that's saying is to take our, remember white reveals, black conceals. It's such a normal, I can turn that opacity kind of down a little bit. Smoothing's at 10%, may move that up. Hardness is at 0, so we kind of want that. And see, I can reveal part of his face now. So it blends that. And then I can start doing that with the smoke clouds. Okay, so if I go here on that layer, the white reveal, so I can start showing more and more of the smoke clouds. So what I'm doing there is just revealing smoke clouds so it looks like it's coming out of his head. And I can flip it back over to hide that part if I need to. So it creates that kind of smoky effect there. You can see there whenever I move it, what that's doing. So being able to use that brush again on the figure here, white reveals, black conceals. And so I'm able to go over here and reveal some of that cloud space. And I'm trying to blend it into his face. I'm going to make that picture just a little bit bigger so that it flows more into his face. Checking my levels, seeing if I can blend it out more. There we go. See, I can go blend it as I can. I'm trying to get it where it blends in a little bit there. So they want to scale up the top image and make it fit better. So they want to choose the factory setting. Choosing the actual picture. So that we can make it actually fit in a little bit higher is what they're wanting. You can also blend it down and move it up so that it fits more like that. Okay. See, so it kind of matches now. And then adding color tint to it. So that would be to add a layer. Let's see. New fill layer, solid color. Choose a red. And then I'm going to set that to color. That gives it that red tone. And click the FX button. At the very top, you're going to see the blending option. Choose it in advanced blending mode. See the blend sliders button. Drag the white slider to the left to hide the layer, the contents of the highlights. To get the work, you need to split the triangle slider. So that's a lot of words. But what it's saying is to click on this and then click on this FX button and do blending options. And you can play around with this until it gets to be the right shade that you want. Then you click OK. Gonna go and find my suit here, and the opacity here, they want it down to 55. And then add some grain to simulate a film look. See, their 55 and our 55 is a little bit different. Let's see. I may just bring it down just a little bit less. So I'm going to do about 60 to 70. for the fill. And if I turn my opacity all the way up, that's what it looks like. So make sure you mess around with either the opacity and the fill to see which one you like better. Okay, and then add some grain. Create a new layer. Let's see. Right here's the new layer. Bring it all the way up. So the new layer, overlay. Let's see, new fill layer, solid color. See what that does. Normal, overlay. Not too worried there. That's just if you want to add some grain. So they're trying to add in color, so I can do layer, new fill layer, solid color. I'm going to do overlay, then click OK. And it's going to be gray. I'm just going to pick a gray and do OK, because they don't want that to be empty. So again, you don't see anything, but it just makes it where it's not empty. And then you can do filter, noise, add noise, convert just or rasterize, and then roughly 37%. So you can also type that in. They use Gaussian and then monochromatic. So if the effect is too strong, you can go and obviously change the opacity. So I'm going to change that opacity way down. Just add a little bit of grain in there. So my fill's at like 27%. I'm going to change my opacity down. I wanted a little bit more of his face showing, so I'm just adjusting my layers. Okay. And then add a little bit of type here. They added in the type, you don't have to worry about that. I'm not worried. They changed the color of the red. And then they're just adjusting the layers. So what they did was go over here to the red, to the opacity, and change it down just a little bit so that it's a little less red. And then they did some level adjusting. I'm not worried about you guys doing the level adjusting at this point. But I can go and click over here and do, let's see. For the adjustments, I can go over here and adjust things as needed. So like adding in a little bit more contrast, turning up my brightness ever so slightly so that he comes in like that. So once you have something around this, then you're good. So at that point, I would just do File, Export as, save it as a JPEG. I'm going to save it on my desktop and do Export.